Okay, sorry about that. All right, so that's kind of our goal for this month, is to help you just take some massive action and create some success in your business. So I want to turn it over, and I don't want to delay any longer because you guys hear my voice enough. Let's let Kim take it over. Kim, if you want to just introduce yourself and then dive right in, I will let you take the floor.
Perfect. Thanks, Mel. Oh my goodness, guys, I am super honored to be here and very, very excited. It's funny, Mel messaged me from the plane last week and we were chatting, and I got really excited to be able to share my story, and I felt really honored to be asked. And I want to tell you why. I'm wearing a shirt that says blessed here, because that's literally how I feel about this coaching opportunity that we started 3 years ago. And guys, I'm going to take you back 3 years ago first before we kind of dive into the logistics and the training, because I want to weave a story through for you, because I think it's really important for us to understand we all started from somewhere, and everybody that we are going to be interacting with in our futures and maybe our prospects is going to be important of where we came from. So I want to preface it by that. So my name's Kim Fitzpatrick. I've been a coach for 3 years. If I'm honest, I've actually really only been a coach for 2.5, because I spent the first 5 months doubting myself, and my husband took the reins. So I want to jump in on that. But we officially, I've been a coach for 3 years. Jamie and I have 2 children, Colby and Tessa. Jamie and I are happily married. We've been married for about 10 years now, together for 14. And Jamie was always the entrepreneur in our relationship. He was always the one living outside of the box. He quit his teaching job 6 years in and went and opened a doggy boutique in downtown Oakville. And everybody thought he was legit crazy. And he grew that to a $60 million business and franchised coast to coast in Canada. And I had nothing but tremendous respect for this incredible man that was working so hard. And Jamie and I, when we met, I had 3 jobs because I was working in the field of senior living, and our checks are not very big because you are giving back. And that's, your second paycheck. And I believed in all that so much. And I believe in championing the quality of life for everybody. And that's really where my start got. And Jamie and I met when I first started working in senior living. So together, we've always been incredibly hard workers. We've always been people that have committed to putting hours and hours and hours in our day. We would often be working, guys, anywhere from 17 to 18 hours a day. And for us, that was our reality. If I wasn't working in the seniors home, I was working in the bar. And that's where I met this guy who I never even thought that I would ever have a chance with, because he was so good looking. He was older and he had to have been married, was the story I kept playing in my head. And I was running by his store downtown Oakville, and knew this, I would never stop. I would never have stopped. And divine intervention happened and we met. But we met because of, I believe, we were supposed to meet. And I believe we were supposed to build this business. And I believe that everything that we have done in our lives have brought us to this point. And so often we don't take credit for where and what we have gone through and done as a professionals, personally, and how that's going to intersperse into your coaching business. And I need you to remember that. Write that down. Your past matters. And your past is going to be your connector to your future clients, your future posts, your future inspiration, and where you want to grow with this business. Guys, I had the honor of going to MLC for the first time last year as a 5-star elite coach. And I remember, Jamie, we were a top 10 team at that point. Jamie, we hit a top 10 team in 2 years. And I remember meeting Mel, and I was sitting right behind Mel. And I was looking at Mel and I was like, gosh, she's been a coach for this long. I have so much tremendous respect for her. And what I realized when I was sitting in those seats in NLC, guys, is I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I knew exactly where I wanted to grow. But I needed to lay a foundation of how I was going to get there. So Jamie and I started our business 3 years ago. Guys, we were clients and customers of Beachbody for 8 years before we even heard about the coaching opportunity. There's a massive importance for you to be connecting with every free lead and every customer that is in your back office, because wouldn't I look really good in your downline right now? Just saying. During that 8 years, we had nobody reach out to us. I was on the derm line. We had every single program. We have done every single program minus hip hop abs and the Brazilian booty lift or whatever that program is. We've done every program. And Jamie and I, he started with P90X and he lost 67 pounds, guys. And Jamie lost everything that he was holding on through these programs. So we started and our jobs and our lives collided at a very busy time. And what happened was that we were both trying to navigate through our lives, and we were both trying to navigate through how are we going to be successful in this life? How are we going to keep being successful in this business and in our own business back in the day? And we knew one thing kept us straight, and it was our commitment to our health and our wellness. We didn't know what that looked like back then, guys, because I don't know about you, but I was the on again, off again girl. Every Monday, I would start again. I would be a weekday warrior, and then I would ruin everything in the weekend, and then I would start again. And that was my cycle. And I realized that was my cycle at right about the time the coaching opportunity came in. You see, guys, I was spending my entire life climbing the corporate ladder. I spent my entire life thinking that my worth was determined by the title that I had on my badge. I thought that my entire life was determined by the 6-figure salary my parents now were proud of. That's how I determined my worth for so long. When coaching came into play, guys, Jamie was ready to go for this. He is a businessman. He saw where this could go and this could grow. I was stuck in a little box. I was stuck holding on to a title. I was stuck holding on to who might judge. I was stuck holding on to what my friends think, because let me tell you, they told me what they think. And I had one of my girlfriends laugh in my face when I told her where we wanted to go 3 months into this business. Good thing I didn't listen to her. So guys, wherever you're at in this business and wherever you're ready to grow, I needed to get over my darn self pretty quick, because what I realized, what happened, a couple things. I had to have faith over fear. And the other thing I had to do is I had to actually start becoming the proof that the product actually worked. Because here's what was happening. Who would want to join a weekday warrior who fell off and then kept restarting? People don't want to keep restarting. It's okay to trip. It's okay to stumble. But when you rise, guys, we have to rise and we have to stay rising, because that's what this life is about. This life is about learning from your stumbles, but not staying stuck there. And I stayed stuck there so long until I learned what this business was all about. So Jamie started this business. I was still stuck in my own way 3 years ago. And I remember I was finishing my degree. We were raising up 2 tiny humans. I was traveling. I was probably out of the home 50 hours a week. And Jamie was also traveling as well. Guys, we built our business and we became a top 10 team with 2 full-time corporate working jobs. It is not out of the possibility of you to build whatever your goals will be. That's an important point. And I wanted to say too, and here's how we did it. We became proof that the products worked. I fell in love with the actual system. Here's where we went wrong. I bought every DVD. Guys, I'm telling you, my DVD collection falls over. I bought all the deluxe kits. I have all the fancy equipment because I was that girl that every 30 days I needed to change. I think I have workout ADD where I need to keep changing. But what I didn't have was a coach. I didn't have a coach for 8 years. I didn't have a group. I didn't have a tribe. I didn't have anybody holding me accountable. I didn't have anybody linking arms with me to say, yes, you can. And the stories that you keep playing in your head from where you were a little girl, they don't own you anymore. But you're letting them. And I let them own me, and I let them own me until our coaching opportunity. Jamie started our first challenge group, guys, this time exactly 3 years ago. Like, this week lights my soul on fire because this is where it all began. This is where my life changed. I get emotional, guys, because this business is so much bigger than I think, I'm going to say 85% of the coaches in the network understand. I've been on the other side with fancy titles and going to conferences and flying all over the place and thinking that that was what determined my wealth, my health, my service in this world. But guess what was the change? When I started to do a full program, guys, I actually was talking to the screen, watching Autumn's infomercial for 21 Day Fix. I was like, Jamie, she's ridiculous. You can't overeat on healthy foods like these portion control containers are going to work. This is crazy, because I never bought in to the whole system, but we did 3 years ago. And within 1 week, I realized that my yellows were overflowing, mainly with wine on weekends. I was underbalanced because I thought that it was more important to cut my carbs out during the week. So I actually was tired and more agitated and angry. And when I started to balance out my nutrition, I became a happier human, but I wouldn't have learned that if I hadn't actually done the full program. The other thing we did is I started engaging. I jumped in that accountability group. As a client, I was a client first. Jamie was the one leading. To me, it felt safer that way, because I could tell all my friends about what my husband was doing. And I would come home every day and be like, I found a friend for us, or I found a new coach that wants to explore this business. And what happened, guys, about 4 months into that transformation for me, where I started to do personal development and actually not just make it be shelf help, I actually put my personal development into action by modeling what I was reading. I started to move daily. I started to eat healthier and in a more balanced way. I started to unravel the stories that was keeping me small, because I was doing the work that, guys, I'm going to tell you, 99% of the human population would thrive from. And I started to learn that this was a gift, and I was my own gift first. Coaching is you taking care of you first. Coaching is you leading you in your own life first. This is super, super important. And I needed to know that, because I don't think I would be the coach I was today, guys, if I hadn't understood that first. We built our business on our challenge groups. That's where we start our business. We built our business on our challenge groups because I had to become a client first. That's where I saw the success. I mentioned earlier, guys, that I started my career in senior living. I believe in the power of community. I believe in helping people feel better than when you found them. But I also know that even when I took care of residents living in retirement and I was helping design their care plan, guess what they needed? They needed support. They needed daily check-ins. They needed someone to help encourage them to get dressed. They needed someone to help them walk that extra step and breathe belief in them that they could. That's what our residents needed. And guess what was so parallel to that? That's exactly what our clients need. That's exactly what the coaches on your team need. They need to be linking arms as healthcare partners, because this business is about wellness. It's about financial health. It's about physical health. It's about mental health. And it's about emotional health. But if you're missing parts of that puzzle, guys, this won't come across authentically on your social media. It won't come across authentically when you're having conversations with somebody. Guys, I don't have to sell ever. People they have major fear of missing out. I call it FOMO. They are missing out on the magic because I am legitimately this happy majority of the time. And I also share when I'm not, so that they see that it's not all unicorns and rainbows. But what happened, guys, is we laid the foundation in the challenge group. We knew that I needed to parallel the experience that I realized I was missing in my own life. And I started to share that story. Do you know how many mamas don't put themselves first? Do you know how many people work in the corporate world and see their kids for 30 minutes a day? I sure know how that feels, because I've done it. I did it, guys, for 8 years. And I refuse to live that way anymore, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And it is a disservice to not offer this opportunity to people on social media, in person. And here's how you do that. You show them that this works. You show them that the products work. Your posts need to breathe belief in what you're doing, because you are what you're doing. How many of you will go silent on social media for a couple days and then you show back up? Guys, this business is about consistency. I love the Facebook memories that come up on my timeline. I love them because they are a reminder of where I need to keep growing. I will constantly be chasing the coach I want to be in 7 years, because this business, I don't have a plan B. This is my plan A. And I realized, guys, about 6 months into this business, that I was living life all wrong. I stayed so small. I stayed victim to the fact that my mom passed away when I was 11 months old. And I grew up with not a lot of self-love. I grew up with not enough love. I grew up with lack of feeling important. I grew up with lack of feeling worthy. I was told I was never going to be smart enough to go to university. I was always put behind in my classes. And I was made to feel small. But here's where I wanted the pavement meets the road, guys. I let myself be small. What happens to us in our past is completely in our control right now. And if we stay victim to the small stories that we let ourselves keep believing, nothing will change. This business has healed me on so many levels, guys, that I actually can have open and honest, transparent conversations with my parents and really start to heal my life. This business has made me a better mom. When I started and I was a mom, guys, I had no friggin' clue what I was doing. I think all moms can relate to that. But I also didn't have time to learn how to be a mom. This business has given me time. I never was able to drop my kids off at school, even on the first day. I never was able to pick up my kids when they were sick from school, because I was typically anywhere from 2 to 4 hours away from my children every day. That is not okay for me. And you know how many women, that's their reality? I was at dinner this weekend, guys, and I had this amazing friend was saying to me how her husband leaves work at 6:30 in the morning, goes on a train, and he comes home at 6:30. They don't eat dinner together till the weekend. And Jamie and I held our hands under the table, and we squeezed our hands really tight, because we don't have to live in that reality that used to be ours. But the only way we got out of it is because we worked, and we laid the foundation of how to do that. We built our challenge groups up from the ground up. Our challenge groups is where we find we can recruit the most solid, incredible women and men from. Because guess why? They're your tribe. That is what you're inviting into. You can invite, and I do invite invitations on Insta stories. I do invitations on Instagram. I do invitations on Facebook. But my invitations, guys, are not the typical invitation. My invitations are sharing my story. I share where I was, I share where I am, and I share where I want to grow. Because that's what this coaching business gives you the opportunity of. It gives you the tools in the palms of your hand to be able to support and serve people along their journey. Don't discount that. But if you aren't being the one checking in and paralleling, like I gave that example of our residents, what our residents needed. If you're not checking in daily with your challenge group, for example, if you're not checking in with your business daily, if you're not checking in with your downline daily, if you're not checking in with all the things you need to be doing to keep your business soaring, who's going to do that? So, a couple other things that we did. We decided that we were going to make our challenge group our training ground, because I believe that and my mission, I got really clear on my purpose 6 months in. I went to an event. It was Ignite with Miguel and the Smartass Fitness team. And I looked around that room and I thought, why not me? Why not me? Why can't I be up there speaking? Why can't I be that one that's talking? Why can't I be the one having faith over fear in my conversations? Because this is not a pyramid scheme. Why can't I be more brave and wear my own advertisement on my forehead? Because I was hiding behind my corporate title. I was wearing Sienna Senior Living all over my face, but I wouldn't do that for myself. We are the CEOs of our own business, guys. So start labeling your business cards plastered all over your face and wear your heart on your sleeve, because you count. You build your business. This matters. How you show up in your business matters. And it comes back in and around to how you want to help people lead in their lives. My mission and my purpose and my greater why is to make sure that we, honestly, as women, we are rising up and we feel more empowered every single day in our health, in our personal accountability and responsibility for how we react in our situations, how graceful we are with responding to our children and our family, because that's what matters. I help people in our challenge groups and in this life on social media, hopefully become a better human. That's what we have the gift to be able to do. And that mission is pretty indisputable. Sorry, I'm gonna say that right now. If someone were to tell me, that's stupid, okay, well, thanks for that, but I feel really good and I feel intrinsically aligned. Guys, my mom made a choice, and I want to share this. My mom made a choice when she was first pregnant with me because her cancer came back. My mom made a choice whether or not she was going to terminate a pregnancy and have chemo, or she was going to keep this little soul alive. And she didn't know who I was going to be, where I was going to go. But my dad told me there was no other option. My mom passed away 11 months later after I was born. And I get stopped on the street, guys, by people that say, I know your mom. I knew your mother. I helped to raise you. She wanted you here so bad. You have to find your purpose, guys. This job, my mission is not to sell Beachbody programs. It isn't to sell a workout. It isn't to sell a shake. This business that I do is because I have a mission and I have a bigger purpose, and this gives me the opportunity to be able to do that. This gives me the wings to be able to spread what I'm able to do. And we do that that for me, this purpose, you got to get real clear on your passion, and you got to get real clear on your purpose as to why you're doing this and why you're in this group and why you're doing this job. Because if you are all in, your business will soar. But if we keep toe dipping in this life, our businesses will not soar. If we inconsistently show up in how we recruit, how we share the business opportunity, how we share the health and wellness opportunity, our business will suffer. I will never deviate from my purpose. My posts will always be there every day. Minimum two, guys, maybe one, but it's quality over quantity. And it's rooting your passion and your purpose in your posts, in your challenge groups, in your free groups. I run a free 5-day group. I run a community, and we keep that community going all year long. And from the first Monday, like the first Monday of every month to the Friday, I run a free group. I pour people into that group, guys, all month long. If someone gives me that's not ready yet to maybe try the coaching opportunity, or maybe to try come on in. I just did a free meal prep group last month. I think you'd really benefit from that. Your mission and your purpose shouldn't be selling a challenge pack, because that's where I believe we all go wrong. We focus so much on the points versus the people. We focus so much on the points versus our purpose and our passion. Because when you focus on your purpose and your passion, and that's everything that you do in your business will flourish. I promise you that. So get clear. Mel has the best marketing plan in the whole damn company that mostly everybody follows now because of her amazing presentations at NLC. But she gives you guys those things. There is no reason why you're not set up for success other than lack of action on your behalf. Bottom line. I'm just going to say that and have a little truth bomb over here. So, but that's part of it. And I really want to acknowledge that, that it is up to us to determine how we build our business. So foundationally, I run a free group every month. That's where I have about 1,000 people in there right now. And I'm adding to that every day. I add to that from Insta stories. I add to that on Instagram. It's in my link tree on my Instagram profile. And they always have an option to join somewhere free. The other thing I always talk about, even in my live videos, I don't necessarily come right out and say you should join my challenge group, but I do talk about it. And I talk about what I just went live about in my accountability groups, talking about, how to get real clear on your goal setting, talking about how to do a month in review, all those things. It is about dribbling what you do inside your challenge group, outside your challenge group. And then inside your client groups, guys, I love running challenge groups. It is my jam. I literally show up in there every day. So a couple things that I do in there. We absolutely do a Zoom call every week. A lot of the same things you guys probably are already doing, but we consistently do it. We empower people that are in our groups right now that are showing real leadership qualities to speak on those Zoom calls. We have them be we've got clients in there that actually are PIO and Insanity certified because that's the route they wanted to go first. There are so many options within our company that we have beautifully partnered with that give people permission to grow outside of their comfort zone. Our challenge group is really that foundational work. And we do that because Jamie and I are really clear on our purpose, we're really clear on our passion, and we're really clear on our mission. And we never deviate. So we show up every day together. We do our workout roll calls. We make people feel really, really important. Every comment is responded back to. Every comment. We engage with our clients and we do not ask them to do anything we're not willing to do. The other thing that we do that's really, I found has been really impactful is we lead a book club. We do personal development right inside our accountability groups. This month we're reading Girl Wash Your Face. And what I'm finding is that the coaches that are coming out of that group, guys, are coming to me being like, I'm in, I'm ready. I want to be as happy as you. I want to be doing what you're doing. Can you teach me? Yeah. And I've got my next business academy training starting because they've seen it. They see what we're doing on social media, guys. They see that your clients are watching you. Everybody is watching everything you do. So what you model in your group, you should be modeling on social media. There should be no disconnection, guys, between who you are and your story and how you show up. And that's something that you really want to think about threading in. Because that's where I find if I'm a little bit off on my personal development or I'm off on my nutrition or I'm off on my sleep, my business is off because we're off. So I encourage you all to be really reflective as to where you're at in your life, how things are going in your business. I think you need to get really clear on what your priorities are in your business. For us, our challenge groups are how we built our business. We had 30 diamonds come out of our challenge groups and our free groups in the last 3 years. They're not all still diamonds, just for the record. But we have grown 30 diamonds from our challenge groups. And I wanted to share that with you guys. That doesn't mean that that's what's going to be your jam, but it's what has become our jam. And what I want to empower you to think about today is what is your jam? You got to get real clear on your purpose, guys, and what your heart is telling you. And you need to be hustling for joy. You need to be hustling for your heart. You need to be hustling for the freedom that this job provides, but not if you're chained to the desk. You need to find your balance in your joy. And your clients will feel that. Your coaches will feel that. Your team culture will reflect that. And it is really important, guys, that we have all of those foundational key principles, those vital behaviors on lockdown. Because if we don't have it on lockdown, our group suffer, our coaches suffers, our downline suffers. It's kind of a simple formula, guys. It's a simple formula to success. You need to honor and practice the vital behaviors. You need to show up as you. You need to get damn clear on your purpose and your passion. You need to not let your story own you or the fear of the judgment of what other people are thinking. Because let me tell you, their opinions do not pay your bills. Their opinions do not send you on beautiful trips. Their opinions would never have linked arms with me with having the relationship I have with your leader. I couldn't be more grateful for you. And that's what this business does, guys. It gives you the most incredible opportunity to partner with people you never would have met. And you will never ever know the feeling, guys, if you give up on what could be. So don't quit on yourself, and don't quit on your dreams, and don't quit on anything because you had a bad month. You just keep digging your heels in and get back to it. So that's what I have for you. It was all over the place, but I think I pulled it all back together.
No, it was perfect. It was really, really good. And I took a lot of notes. You know, it's refreshing to hear your story. I will never get sick of hearing it over and over again. And a lot of us have built our businesses based on challenge groups. And I think about, you know, even my business is really, the foundation was built on that too. And a lot of people had some questions there just about, you know, content. And one of the things, wait, I wrote down a question for you and I want to ask it. You said your challenge group is your training ground. And I felt like, okay, that's a really interesting. So other than like the book club, what are the other things you kind of lay in there that kind of prep people for that throughout the month?
Yeah. So essentially what we do is we make sure that they're doing personal development. They're showing up with their workouts. They are showing up with their nutrition. They are coming on our Zoom calls. They are recognizing other people in the group. So those are all the foundations of coaches and the vital behaviors. So, and they're leaders within the group, and they start to lead through the groups. So I encourage and empower our clients to go in. If they message me on something, I'm like, can you actually just go write that to Jenna? Can you go write that to Jenna? And then they do. And then Jenna writes back how that just changed their whole day. And then I follow back up with, didn't that feel so good that you have the autonomy to be able to lead this group? Our challenge groups are co-led by our tribe. That's what I believe. We introduce everyone to the group just like we do a new coach. They get a welcome email just like a new coach. They're set up with the foundations of all of the basic principles of how you are a part of the Crush Nation tribe. And that's what they're talked about. They're a part of Crush Nation. They're the client division, but they're a part of Crush Nation, and they've got access to everybody. Our coaches are also in our challenge groups learning from that. And what we've started to do is actually we've co-led together. A lot of our diamonds, we're all co-leading our team together, and where they'll post different things and they really lead the call. We all lead the calls together. But what's come from that is that other clients are seeing other leaders in that group as well. And they're seeing that they can show up too. The other thing we do is we have our weekly email check-ins as well, where I ask very pointed questions as well. And in those weekly emails is a training. It is a training on how are you living? And there's a really cool, powerful video about that. We put Mel Robbins has a 30-day thing. We did those in the group. So every day I did a 5-minute group. So we are training our clients to be leaders in their own lives. And when they become leaders in their own lives, Mel, they just don't get so scared of what else is out there. And that's the foundation, to be honest. We don't do anything that's different, but we do exactly what we do with, and then when they do transition to being a coach, they are welcomed on the team. They have a welcome email. They are doing a weekly Zoom, which they're already doing. There's all these things that aren't going to be radically different from their life that they've already carved out time for. They're already checking in and plugging into the group. They're already reading the Beachbody blog and seeing all of the different things. So that's another way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Question.
No, that was perfect. That was really perfect. So a couple of things, just time management, you know, you're running a free group and you're running your challenge groups, you know, how do you sort of manage the two? Do you have different themes that you run every single month in a free group? Do you keep the same group? Do you change it? Kind of walk through how do you kind of streamline that so it doesn't take over your time?
Yeah. So I'm doing a booty, abs, and nutrition group this month. So starting today, I drove home from Kalahari Water Park, Tussie's cheer tournament, and I built the content. So in 3 hours, I have a passion for infusing really cool stuff in the groups. I do 5 posts in those groups a day. These are what they look like. The first one is a workout. It is all from Beachbody On Demand moves. They see me on my little computer doing my moves, so I'm piquing curiosity because everyone in my free group is not a client. So, and I share that with them. These are actually some of the moves that our clients are doing. Here are some that you can do at home. I do them in an iMovie, super quick, speed them up, and then I tell them to do them for a minute. And I do leg, abs, and core. No, legs, booty, core. So I pulled from Hammer and Chisel, I pulled from Bar Legs, I pulled from every program that we've done. The other thing I give them is the 7-day ab maximizer guide from Insanity. So it's a nutrition guide for 7 days. And they're like, what is this? And where is this from? And so it's a sneak peek. It's something that I'm okay with sharing. I don't think that sharing a resource from the Beachbody On Demand one time, for me, because they can get a lot of information on Beachbody blog. What it does is it actually helps our clients or the potential clients in that group realize they have no idea what they're doing and they need a clear map out. So we share that kind of stuff. Every month I change the theme. So this month is legs, booty, nutrition. Last month I did a meal prep where I focus all on meal prep. The thing that I love about that meal prep is it dovetails in with the meal prep and the prep I do with our clients. So they're getting a sneak peek into what our challenge group is like in a way. I also cut them off after 5 days. To answer your question, Mel, you could stay in that community and run it, but that's not what it's for. If I film a live video on my personal page on meal prepping, I'll put that in the free group and share it in, but they don't get me until they know about 4 days, 5 days before I'm building anticipation for what's going on. About a week out, I'm building anticipation on my page to drive more people into the Fitz Life community. So I change it. I change the theme every month. I have done a free group for 3 years. So I have content coming out my yin yang and I build on it. I do a workout video. I always do an article. I typically source an article from one of our super trainers, from something that I don't reinvent the wheels, guys. I keep what we have and I share it, but I will source that stuff and say, here's what I love about this. I also will share other foodies I love. I share a recipe every day. I share a shopping list of what you would need for that recipe. I go live in there. And then, for example, to round out each day, they're going to have to do 25 squats today, 50 tomorrow, 75 and 100. And then it's done on Friday. So it's pretty simple. Workout, article, recipe, live, and that's your day. And I really script those out. And there's 5 days. Each day gets 3 or 4 posts. And it keeps it super, super easy.
And that's a 5-day group.
The 5-day free group is in the free community. The 5-day free group is always in the community. I used to run free groups every month, and that was so much work. Now I just pour people into the free community. And there's all the resources. They can scroll back and they can see like 8 months worth of content, and they're like adding their friends in like crazy. So I always invite them to add their friends in and that kind of stuff too. So it keeps it really fun and fresh for me because I love running groups. I love running groups. And again, that's really where I've made the connections. I have 900 people that I need to connect with that I haven't yet. So, I mean, when you're looking for people, you know, the other thing, okay, so So the transition to get people or to encourage people or invite people from the challenge, from that community, I invite them into the challenge group. I say, if you like this type of support, this daily accountability, I invite you to join our next challenge that's happening actually starting in a week. Message me, I'll help you get all set up. We also have a business opportunity. If you love what I'm doing, if you think, what is she doing? Let me tell you more about that. So I share both opportunities in the free community every month.
Gotcha. And it's just 5 days. And then otherwise you just share like whatever you're doing outside of that.
Make them miss me.
Yeah.
Terribly.
I love it. I love it. And I'm sure, do you create like a new meal plan, it's new content every month? It's not the same meal plan over and over again.
Yeah, no. That was just an example of what I gave. Yeah.
Yeah. But the ab maximizer is the meal plan. So that is what you share, right?
It's the, no, it's one sample. No, I don't share the insanity meal plan. It's a small one.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And you keep it up. You already said that, right? You keep up the information so they can scroll back through as long as, and you do it on Facebook.
Yep.
You do it through Facebook.
Yep.
Okay. So Julia had asked about if you have an assistant. I think this is a really good question.
I have two. I do.
And what do you have them do?
We have a business manager that is my left brain, Jessica, and I love her. She helps me do a lot of our graphics, our Entreport links. She develops a lot of our links and all those things behind the scenes for helping our monthly newsletters. If anyone were to ever click on my Fitz Life community, you'll see what my landing page is. She helps us do all of those things. Those are my words, but she puts them all in together. Jess really helps us stay kind of accountable to our business goals and, what we need to be doing and making sure that we're doing our coaching webinars and all of those types of things. And then I also have another girl that helps me in the challenge groups. And she really, really helps me in our challenge group. She helps me follow back up. She helps me, Kim, how do I answer this question? I stay really, really connected, but I have someone helping me. I've got over 430 comments every day on my workout roll calls. I can't be the one that's going to be the one doing that. I did it for about 5 months. Actually, I remember, Mel, I went to your home and I said, I just can't keep up with it all, because as your business starts to grow, guys, that's a beautiful thing to be able to partner with someone that can help you share the load. I fully agree and endorse and share it very quickly in the business when someone's starting to get some success, to talk about sourcing out and so getting a business partner to support you.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. And that was something I wish I would have done way earlier. I tried to wear that hat by myself and definitely burned that candle for a long time. So perfect. All right, guys, any other questions that you might have for Kim while we still have her? I'm looking through to see.
And I talk about my challenge group all the time, constantly, always.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, a lot of people have said to me in the past, they're like, free groups don't work for me. I don't transition them into paying customers. They just want to stay in a free group all the time. So that's one thing that I do hear is they're like, it's a waste of my time.
I'm going to say for the first 6 months, I felt the same way. And I'm going to say that every time I run a group, I usually have about 10 clients from my free group. Mm-hmm. There's also 900 in there that are watching everything I'm doing on social media, which is, guys, I'm going to say, if your free groups aren't working, something you're doing isn't working. You need to be able to, it needs to paint a story. So free group to social media to showing up consistently every day. And if you are not bringing value, you are not going to be valued. If you're just posting about your dog or holding people don't care what you do. They care why you do it. So your free group and your social media has to represent that. And your challenge groups have to represent that. And you need to be sharing what's happening in that challenge group outside of your challenge group. Share that on your Insta stories. Mel does a great job at that. Talk about how you feel when you work out, why you work out. We do a Zoom call with our clients every morning. I do a Zoom call with them at 6 a.m. every morning on Insta stories, almost every other morning. I'm like, you ready to join me? You ready? And it's just a poll. And I follow back up. Guys, I'm talking like 50, 60, 70 people that I'm following back up with and messaging from Instagram polls. 4 of them have told me their cat hit the poll and the paw, and they're not interested. But you still show up anyway. So guys, there's no reason. I totally respect and hear you about the free groups, but let me tell you something. I remember, and I want to share this story with you. I remember reading Chicken Soup for the Soul for a group of residents. I fell asleep. I fell asleep reading a book for my residents at my job. I didn't get fired, but I realized I was so bored of reading Chicken Soup for the Soul that I was never going to do that again. If you are bored of what you are doing, what you are sharing, so is everybody else. If you are not lit up with your soul on fire about working your booty, nobody else is either. So the energy you bring to the table, you will directly reflect in your business, in your free groups, in your challenge groups, and in your coaching team.
Amen. Amen. It is. It's
fiery there.
It's all about the energy. It is. If you're fired up, your people will be fired up too. And that is the truth. That is the truth. So, all right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. I feel like there's a lot of information that Kim has shared with us today. I hope you guys took some great notes, and some of the things that I just wrote down. Lack of action is always the reason why we don't succeed. But then I wrote down like patience too. Kim, you said it took you 5 months to get your free group, to really generate that traction. And you think about, we always want this instant gratification. We always want things to just work immediately. And even though, today is the first day of this push group, just know that the foundation that you're laying every single day is going to bring your tribe to you, but it is what you put out there repeatedly over time that is going to make this work for you guys. So guys, let's go out there. Let's really hustle for that joy, finding your balance and going out there and making it work for you. And so we'll kind of have a little discussion after the fact in our group. Thank you so much, Kim, for your time. We so appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Thank you.